Hey guys, this is episode 2 of our weekend review, and I'm so excited about this tool. I think it's going to be just a great tool for you guys to watch back our services, to hear the communication, the ClearComm chatter, and for us to really just take some time to dive into camera shots and how we direct and how we operate cameras. So we don't really get that time during the weekend to really kind of critique what we do and get better, and so this is a great opportunity to do that. You can do it at your own pace at home. And so I'm only going to take just a little bit of time here to go through song 1 from this first service this last weekend, so the 9:30 service on Sunday. We're just going to go through that. We're going to point out some stuff that's awesome. We're going to point out some stuff that we need to work on just a little bit. And I think just doing this regularly will really help us move forward. So without wasting too much time, let's dive in and let's see what we got. Alrighty, so let's dive on right in here. And so I'm going to kick things off.
All right, so we're going to start off with 1, we're going to go to 2, we're going to go to 3, we're going to go to 5, we're going to go to 3, go to 5, go to 2.
Let me just stop right there. What Eric did there was awesome. That's what we're looking for from all of our video directors, coming in, knowing even before service starts what cameras we're going to. Eric and I talk a lot about going into the weekend. One of the things he does to prepare is he'll listen to the songs throughout the week. He knows he's going to start out with a wide shot there, then he knows he's going to cut to 2 to Betsy to welcome everyone, then he's going to go to the electric guitar, then to the drums, and back to the electric. And so the thing to point out there is Eric already has a great idea of how he's going to kick the service off. The good thing about the opening intro video is that it allows us to prep our camera shots. It gives us the time to do that. So let's just keep going.
1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 5, 2. Something like that. And then we'll all pick up Betsy. Okay, here we go. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're live. Give me that background. Take 1. Ready, 2. Take 2. Ready, 3.
So he knows where he's going there.
Take 3. Ready, 5. Take 5.
He's got the instrumental timed out.
Take 3. Ready, 5. Take 5. Ready, 3. Take 3. Ready, 2. Take 2.
Back to Betsy for the verse. Let me stop. That was awesome. If I were to make one little tweak, the only tweak I would make is we had to go from 3 to 5, back to 3, back to 5. So it was electric guitar, back to the drums, back to the electric guitar, back to the drums. When there's so much happening at the beginning of service that I think we can capture, maybe a small little tweak would be to go from, instead of going from Betsy welcoming everyone to guitar, drums, go from Betsy welcoming everyone to guitar to drums, maybe to a wide shot of the stage on 1, getting all the vocalists and everyone, welcoming and everyone in worship, getting the lights in there, then going to maybe a wider shot on 3, so we're not going to the exact same shot over and over again. So let me go back just a little bit here, and let's watch that again. What's awesome is we are perfectly timed and ready on the electric guitar for the turnaround.
Take 3.
She's done talking. We're going straight to the electric, which is awesome, to the drums. Now to here would have been great to go to a wide shot on 1.
Ready, 3. Take 3.
Maybe to another different shot on 3. Then back to Betsy for the verse.
All right,
but overall, that was awesome.
Put her on the right, Harry. Ready, 3. Ready, 1. Take 1.
One thing to look at there is how long we were sitting on camera 2 at the beginning of song 1. It's always good to make sure that people know who's leading the song and making sure we grab a great shot of them when they kick off the song. But what we don't want to do is stick on a shot for too long. And so you lose a little bit of momentum, a little bit of energy here. So let's kind of look here. We're at 50 seconds right now.
Put her on the right, Harry.
So we're still on 2. We probably should have switched to shot by now.
Ready, 1. Take 1.
Keep the momentum of the song going. So it was a good 15 seconds or so before we went from our main shot to another camera shot. Betsy's the one leading here, so we want to really focus on Betsy at the beginning of the song, but not just with one shot. We want to make sure that we go from camera 2 to maybe camera 1. We did a great job of going from a tight shot to a little bit wider shot, so it's not the exact same shot. So that was good, just maybe just a little bit faster.
3. Take 3. Ready. 2. Take 2. All right, give me somebody else. Singers 1 and 3. Give me somebody else. Ready? 3. Take 3. Ready? 1.
I want to stop right there and kind of comment on what Eric was talking about there. He said, 1 and 3, give me someone else. 1 and 3, give me someone else. This is where, as a video director, you really need to know where you want to send your cameras. What's hard as a cam op is vague, not commands, but vague requests on where you want to send cameras. And so it's always good as a video director to keep having in mind, during the chorus, if you want more vocalist shots or that type of thing, so you can be just a little bit more specific in your direction. Let's go back a little bit.
2. Take 2. All right, give me somebody else. Singers 1 and 3. Give me somebody else. Ready? 3. Take 3. Ready? 1. Push in real quick to Sandra. Ready? 3. Take 3. Ready? 1. Take 1.
There we go. So let's talk about that one real fast. And so the always awkward calling for the accidental wrong shot. It happens. So how do we protect against that? Let's back up and just look one more time and see what I'm exactly talking about. We're on camera 3.
In real quick to Sandra. Ready? 3. Take 3.
Eric sets up camera 1, but accidentally says take 3, which 3 is still live. So as a camera operator, you can really help out your video director in paying really close attention to your tally light. So it's one thing to hear your video director call for another shot. It's another thing to wait until your tally is completely cleared on your camera. So even though if you're operating 3 in this instance and your video director calls for camera 1, you still need to keep your shot live like it was live until your tally light goes away. Now, obviously, we accidentally called for the wrong camera, but we could have helped our video director to avoid this accidental jump by watching our tally light. Let's keep going.
Take 1. Ready? 2. Take 2. Ready? 3. Take 3. Ready? 5.
We were ready with our electric. That's awesome.
3.
Ready for the drums. That was
2.
great. Probably wouldn't have gone back to the electric again, but
1,
overall
give
that
me
was
Jennifer.
awesome.
3, give me Ryan. Ready? 1. Start your push. A little bit faster. Ready? 1. Take 1. Ready? 3. Take 3. Ready? 2.
Let's stop right here. So 3 right here is actually a little out of focus. One thing we need to really focus on, no pun intended, with our new cameras, we have a really small window of error when it comes to focus. So camera 3 right now, if you can see it, big enough on your screen, is actually focused on the back screen. You can see some of the pixels on the back screen. It's both a job, it's mainly the job of the camera operator to make sure they're in focus, but as a video director, you also don't want to take a camera that's slightly out of focus. You want to make sure they're always in focus. I know it's hard to see on the back of those cameras. If you can and have the time, you always want to jump in, check your focus, jump out as quick as you can before they take you live. So camera 3, and the amount of time that you have beforehand would have been good to jump in. On guitars are really helpful because you can tell focus really easy on guitars. Jump in, check your focus, and that way when we come to you, you're ready to go.
Take 2. Ready? 3. Take 3. Ready? 1. Pick Sandra. Ready? 1. Take 1. Ready? 2. Put on your right. Take 2.
Right there, we did a great job of making sure our framing is not exactly on top of each other. The one thing that I would mention is that if you look right here, Sandra and Betsy are both pretty much the exact same zoom level. So what I mean by that is we both have pretty much waist up shots on both camera shots, and so when we switch from one to the other, it's a little jarring. It doesn't feel that natural. So as cam ops, you always want to pay attention to what's on program to make sure that you're not giving your video director the exact zoom level as the shot before.
Ready? 3. No, ready? Stay on 2. Oh, there's Pat. Ready, 3. Take 3. Ready, 1. No, he's not doing anything. Ready, 2.
Okay, so let's go back here. So we got to the bridge here. The bridge in this song has lots of energy. I'm scrubbing back and forth here to find the spot. But the one thing I want to really pay attention to as a video director here in this portion is that we get into the bridge that actually has a lot of building energy. So in worship and in lighting, we always do our best to build the emotion of the song. And so we can capture that really well in camera shots in how fast we transition from one camera to another. So we build lots of energy when we start switching faster between cameras. Now, we don't want to switch too fast, obviously, but when we hit a bridge like this, we want to make sure we're matching the tempo of the song with our cuts. And so when we're playing through here, that's the end of the chorus. Now we're going to the bridge.
Stay on 2.
Lots of energy. We should be switching. And switching.
There's Pat.
And switching again.
Take 3.
Mixing in some wider shots.
Ready, 1.
Switching. Getting in those lights that are moving. Switching.
Take 2. 1, give me Betsy. 3, give me Betsy. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 3. Ready, 2. Take 2.
We got to Betsy on this part. That's great.
Stay with her.
You can clear it, Jacob.
Just going to watch our focus there. She walks back and
Take
forth.
1. Ready, 3. Take 3.
Good alternate
Five.
shots on 1 and 3.
Take 5. Ready, 2. Take 2. Ready, 3.
Great transition.
Ready, 1.
The good thing about that I want to point out here, Eric came prepared. He knew that there was a big drum hit coming in here, so he got to the drums, but the trick that Eric did great is that he didn't stay on the drums when the drums went out. So sometimes we stay on the drums and we know because this big drum hit is coming, and then we stick on the drums when they're not doing anything after the big dropout. So he cut to 2 to get the wide part of the stage before the drums kicked out. That was awesome. So let's watch that again.
Ready, 5. Take 5. Ready, 2. Take 2. Ready, 3. Take 3. Ready, 1.
So yeah, keep an eye on our focus.
Ready, 2.
This shot. We see this one a lot. So let's take a second to talk about this one. Let me back up here. When we went to camera 1, if you look at this shot in program right now, you can't really tell what you're focusing on. And so what we end up doing is, as a cam op, we end up picking one of the 3 people in this shot to kind of focus on. The trick here, I would say, is that not one person in this shot can be your subject, but both people in this shot have to be your subject with how it's framed. So it feels a little bit unnatural to go from this 2 shot here to zoom in and pan over at the exact same time down to one person. You really want to keep your movements the majority of the time with either just a zoom or just a pan. I say pans. Pans are a little scary, but you want to keep one direction of movement, not 2 directions of movement, because when you get 2 directions of movement, it looks like you don't, that we don't know where we're going. So when we play through this here,
Ready, 2.
it feels a little unnatural because we just cut out one of the main subjects of the shot. Now, I know this one's a little tricky to kind of communicate about, so I just wanted to point it out while it was there, that when we cut to 1, we didn't really know where we were going.
Ready, 2. Take 2. Ready, 3.
So just something to point out there.
Take 3. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 2. 3, pick up electric. Ready, 2. Take 2.
Called for the electric before it came.
Take
It
3.
was great. Got Betsy holding out the
5.
note. That's
Take
awesome.
5. Ready, 2. Take 2.
The drums in there. Back to Betsy. It's great.
3. Ready, 2.
Back to 3's okay.
1,
Getting
give
a
me
little
cover.
repetitive, but that's okay. 1's ready for the cover.
Ready, 1. Mix 1. Clear your background.
Fading at the end of a song 1, that's awesome. When we go with a whole song of cuts, fast-paced song,
1, give me cover.
absolutely love fading to the cover shot at the end. Not cutting,
Ready,
but
1.
fading,
Mix 1.
matching the
Clear your
crash out.
background.
Awesome.
Give me
One thing I want to point out too, before we end this real quick, is this last little jump here.
2.
We cut back to 2. 2 wasn't quite ready yet for the push, and so we got just a little bit of a jump here. So as a video director, one thing you don't want to do is be cutting so fast between camera shots that you cut before your camera person is either ready to zoom in or before they even know if they're zooming in. And so camera 2 took it upon themselves to push in, which is totally fine, but we want to make sure that we're pushing before we cut to camera 2 so that we can avoid this little number right here jumping in after we went live. So I think that's pretty much it for this week, guys. Overall, you guys did fantastic. We're just taking the time to be really picky. We're taking the time to really just focus on how we do things, focus on the tiny little things that are going to make us better week in and week out. And so thank you guys for spending the time to watch through this. Hope you guys learned something. I hope it was useful. Each week we're going to pick some different parts of the service and really just kind of dive into it. So thanks again for joining us. We'll see you guys.